once you've established purpose, how does that impact some of the other strategic elements of your business? And one of the things we wanted to talk about was how does it impact core values? So purpose and core values are tied together. Purpose living higher up than where core values would live in your strategic chart, but they are tied together, and purpose and values are tied to everything in your business. So two instrumental elements of strategy. And what we've found is that a lot of companies, when we go to engage with them, and companies that I've worked with, values tend to be very generic. We hear words like leadership and quality and teamwork, integrity, and these kinds of words. And they're pretty standard when we look from industry to industry and organization to organization. And they really aren't differentiators usually. Usually those are really just an expectation of customers and employees. And we would call those kind of the ticket to the dance. So if you're not a company that has integrity, you're probably not going to be in business for very long. So we look to work with companies, establish purpose, and then look at their values again and see where their values can be brought to mean more for them, and brought to really make them represent them, use the kind of language that that company would use internally, and really represent the organization and the culture that exists. Quick story about a company that we worked with and that I went and facilitated a strategic workshop for. They were a logistics company, and they had a strategic plan in place. They had core values established, but a lot of them lived with only a couple of people in the organization. It wasn't communicated throughout the organization. So I was really there to help them align their team and come up with strategy, values, and goals that including purpose, that really meant something to the people in the organization, as well as the visionary. And we went and looked at the organization. They did have values. The values sounded like reliability, accuracy, integrity, and service. And those are very similar values that we would see within the logistics company sector that they competed in. And through the work we did, we uncovered that, and this was really authentic to the visionary of the organization, that their purpose is really to simplify a complicated world. And in the world of logistics, and they do a lot of cross-border work, it's a complex business and business model that they work with. And really the visionary, even when I get an email or a text from this person, it's 3 or 4 words, very much to the point. And when I look at everything that they do within their business, they look to simplify things in the world that are very complex. So then we looked at, okay, how does that then impact your values? And we did a values exercise to try to bring forward meaningful language that represented the values and culture that exist in the company. And through the work that we did, and one area that you really see how their purpose came to life in a value was they had "we care," "we have your back," and the real value that I thought stuck very closely to purpose was "straight up." And straight up, that's how they act internally, that's how they communicate internally, that's how they communicate with all of their clients and any of the suppliers that they work with. Straight up communication, and that you can see is very closely tied, just how it's even presented, to their purpose, and it flowed throughout their strategic document. So we did go and create a 1-page strategic plan for them. The workshop was a huge success. The team was really jacked at the end of it, and led by purpose, the highest kind of strategy that lived within their organization.